you can hear us, can you say something so that we know that you can hear us?
Radio check. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. Anyone have a check on us here?
We got new internet, and we're hoping that it's fast enough to be able to go live with you guys. Oh, it's coming up on my. Okay, it's showing me an ad on my computer.
I think we're coming up.
You are okay.
Sweet.
Well, that's exciting. All right, you can hear us. All right. Can see you, barely hear you. Okay, maybe we'll get. Okay.
Cool.
They can hear us. All right.
We recently got new internet service here at the property, and it finally means we can try to go live. If it goes down for some reason, guys, we're sorry, and we'll be back eventually.
So maybe that's the first topic we'll discuss. It's a pretty common question we get from you guys is what we're doing for internet, and so that all started back with the truck camper.
So when we first took off on our truck camper adventure, we were using the hotspot on our phones, and after 1 or 2 video uploads, it was pretty clear that wasn't going to work.
It was horrible.
Trying to find coffee shops, going into hotels and begging them if we could use their Wi-Fi. And then I discovered through the Everlanders, who also built a custom truck camper, the MoFi router. And we used a MoFi Networks LTE router with a Verizon SIM card. And that's what we've been using up until about 2 weeks ago. Verizon gets about 1 bar of service here at the property. So it's enough to make it work, but it was pretty darn slow.
Yeah.
About a week ago, our friend Ryan, who owns a local internet company up here, got us set up with a point-to-point wireless system at a new tower he put up, and now we have internet.
So if you guys are up in North Idaho, check out Conexu Internet. They came out, and so far it's been awesome.
It does mean that it takes power 24 hours a day to have internet, so that's been, having the EcoFlow has also been a piece of that puzzle because we leave the EcoFlow on 24/7 up here, which means that we can power the internet 24/7.
I think your camera's really dirty because you look very smudgy.
The screen protector slid.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's better.
Is that better?
Okay, there we go. Riley, you're less smudgy now.
It was broken anyways. I broke it yesterday.
So yeah, that's internet at the moment. Hi Teresa, hi Ray. Holy cow, you guys have. Yes, we haven't used the moving straps. We used the rigging straps to get the fridge up here.
They might be talking about the over-the-shoulder ones.
Those ones. We haven't used those yet. So one of our followers sent us the straps, like when you have the guy from Home Depot come deliver your appliances, and they like wear the straps and they carry the thing. We have a set of those now, and I think it's going to make a really good video. Is that couples therapy moving something with those?
Things.
So we just we kind of have a list because otherwise we're going to get totally off topic. And then if you guys want to ask us questions about the thing on our list, I think that'll help keep things moving. So the first thing we're going to talk about is winter in North Idaho, which has basically been our lives since we got back in November.
So when we got back in November and you saw us scrambling to build the shop door so we could officially have our building sealed up, and it's been snowing pretty much ever since then.
Yeah. And snowing, then a little bit of rain in there.
And neither Courtney or I have ever lived in the snow. We've traveled in the snow, we've spent time in the snow, but we've never lived in the snow. And it's been a big learning experience for us.
Yeah. We built a snowverlander, and then we had this concern of if we only can snowverland in and out, what if we need to get building supplies up here? And so that's why we ended up buying the plow and putting it on our loaner plow truck. But we try not to use it because we're very worried about breaking the truck.
Huge thanks to our friends that lent us the plow truck. It's been super helpful. Like chained up on all four, being able to tow a trailer in and out of this property, and pretty much no matter what the conditions, has been incredibly helpful. But I don't care. I don't want to have to fix that truck if it breaks, and I don't want to break it.
Steven said you should buy me a skid steer.
Yes, and I think that was the lesson learned this winter, is that like a plow on a truck worked, but it wasn't the right solution for us up here. We really needed better equipment.
We are responsible for about 1.5 miles of road, and so it's a lot to try to do ourselves with like a light duty truck. And so I think just long term we need a better solution. And then we'll go into, I know a lot of you guys had asked, why aren't we plowing with the army truck? We live on a really steep, really icy hill, and I think we both had this fear of if the army truck slides off the hill, there's no getting it back.
So that truck weighs 17,500 pounds, and our road is narrow. Our road is about the width of that truck. So the plow that would have to go on it would be way wider, and then trying to maneuver that big wide plow and push snow off the road. The number of times that I got stuck in just like the 3/4 ton Chevy, I was imagining driving the army truck in those same spots. It would have been stuck instantly, and then it would have been not only stuck but blocking our entrance.
John wants to know why we're not using a flamethrower.
That would be pretty sweet.
We need a lot of fuel to flamethrow a mile and a half. Let's see. Where did we live in California? We lived on the central coast of California. We both met at Cal Poly in San Luis Obispo, and didn't leave very far from there after school.
And Central California is a wonderful place, mostly rural, lots of wine country. It's pretty. We liked it there, but we also really love the mountains, and we love all the outdoor recreation opportunities in the mountains and access to a lake and the snow and snow skiing and mountain biking. And so I think that both of our hearts were just in the mountains, and our trip in the truck camper sort of solidified that that's the lifestyle that we wanted to live.
Yeah.
Plus, we wanted to live off grid, and we wanted to build ourselves.
And so let's go into that next question of how did we find our property? That's a good one.
So we traveled all over the country looking at different properties, looking at different areas. We really liked this area, but we were having a hard time finding property for sale that we could afford. And we were hanging out one day, and I think in the Harbor Freight Tools parking lot, and we met some people there who were checking out a truck camper, and they ended up introducing us to their realtor, who had this listing that wasn't actually on the market yet, and we got to look at it and put an offer in before anyone else had a chance to look at it. So we feel like we got
worked out
really lucky, or maybe it was destiny.
I don't know. But there's a reason that the price of this property was something we could afford, and it's because it needs a lot of work. I know a big question we've been getting lately is why don't we just drill a well? It's not just that we don't really have the money to drill a well right now. We knew when we bought this property that the wells in this area are very deep and very low producing, so it's pretty risky to drill a well.
You know, we live on sort of the top of like a granite cone that's sticking up out of the valley, and so the only water that exists here is water that lands here. So drilling a well here is difficult.
So maybe someday that'll be something that we have the funds to do, but it's going to be risky. We have a neighbor who recently drilled a well and it was dry, and they went to 600 feet. So that's just something that we knew when we bought this place, and so we are with some alternative water solutions. We don't mind hauling water, but long term it'd be nice to have some other plans in play. Rain catchment. Ooh, that's a good question.
Yeah, so we've had a lot of questions, especially after that last video where you saw us catching water in the IBC tote through the runoff in our culvert, of why aren't we catching the rain off the roof? Yeah, that would be awesome. Until like yesterday, we hadn't seen any rain since I think October. And the snow that lands on our roof just slides off. And I think also if we put gutters up in the wintertime, they would turn into big ice dams. So we've been really reluctant to put any gutters up. But now that it's raining again, I think that rain catchment is an idea. We just need to figure out how to either make removable gutters or convertible gutters or something along those lines, and then we can catch rain off the roof.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that definitely. And in summer, hauling water is not a big deal. It's actually pretty fun taking the army truck to town to get water. But right now, it has been raining, so we got a foot of snow, and then it rained and rained and rained and rained, and our road is just straight mud. So the army truck's pretty much stuck up here until mud season's over.
And that truck is awesome. It's 4-wheel drive, it's big, it's got big tires, but it's heavy and it's just not that off-road capable. Digger wants to know when we're going to put a ski lift on our mountain. Yeah, that's like top on my priority list right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even really being facetious. Like, I've already scouted spots out. It's like, oh, Cordy, look, this would be an awesome ski run. That'd be super fun.
So let's see. Underground water tanks. Yes, we definitely want to have some cisterns, some holding capacity for sure. Hopefully this spring, maybe that'll be in the budget.
It feels like developing a property like this is all baby steps. As you know, it's like every day we get a little bit closer, everything gets a little bit easier. But to get from where we are now to where we want to be long term, there's just a lot of work ahead of us.
Are there weight restrictions on the roads where we are? I'm sure there are.
In the springtime, yeah, there's weight restrictions on the roads. I don't know what they are, and I don't know which roads have restrictions, but I know they exist.
Can we talk about mud season? We haven't experienced it yet, but we've been mentally prepared by our neighbors.
We got a little glimpse of what mud season was going to be like, and then we got a super cold snap and everything refroze. But 2 days ago we got a foot of wet snow, and it is literally raining right now outside, and we have a lot of runoff going down the hill, and things are melting fast.
I like this question about putting snow in a tote and then melting it in front of the heater. I actually did do that last week. All our ratchet straps got super muddy, and so I put some snow in a tote and we put it in front of the heater. It takes a really long time for the snow to melt. It's just such a big thermal mass that's so cold that it took 4 days for that to become water. So it's not a great solution for large volumes of water, but it's fun to do sometimes.
It's also a lot of energy, like physically shoveling the snow into the totes and then moving it into the shop in front of the heater, and the amount of energy to run the heater, catching snow that the sun has melted, I think is a great idea, but trying to melt the snow ourselves it's a lot of work.
I like this question. What do you miss most about California? December was very gray. Very gray. Like, I don't think the sun came out more than once or twice. And I think I definitely missed the sun. And then we were talking to some other people and our neighbors who said that was pretty unseasonably gray. And now the sun's back. I mean, we have days that are gray, but we've had enough sun now but I definitely, I think December I missed the sun because we took that for granted in California for sure. Oh, In-N-Out, also In-N-Out.
In-N-Out burger would be what I miss right now about California.
What do we do for fun? That's a good question.
We work a lot right now, guys. Like, we have been just pushing hard on this apartment and the shop so we can have a nice space to come back to. But I'm really looking forward to exploring the area more, exploring the mountain biking trails and the camping, and I think that's what we do for fun. We go outside and we explore.
And we do explore the property quite a bit with the dogs. I love to do like an afternoon walk, or we got snowshoes and we were going, when we had fresh snow, we were going snowshoeing with the dogs, and that was really fun. And we can just do it around our property, so it's not a huge time investment, but that's been really fun.
I had no idea how easy it was to walk on the snow in snowshoes. Those things are super cool.
Do we have any concerns about the hill sliding during mud season?
You know, the back wall of the shop is a good 20 feet away from the hill, and we didn't disturb that much of the hillside when we did our excavation. So even if it did slide, it's not like it's going to hurt the building. And we have a tool that can dig. So
something that we took into consideration, I think it was a neighbor who actually pointed it out, was that this hillside we have over here is really rocky. And when we were doing our excavation, none of those rocks were down here. And so that can be a pretty good sign that that hill is stable because it's not sloughing or sliding every year. And so I think we kind of took that into account. And then, yeah, we wanted the building to be bigger, and we decided to make it smaller so that we had that buffer back there for this reason. But we do have plans to do like a nice retaining wall, I think, eventually, and maybe a French drain back there, just to help minimize it. Are we concerned about bears? There is a black bear, I think, that hangs out on our hill, and we saw a cougar print recently. That was exciting. I think that if I had the goats up here, I would be a lot more concerned, but.
I think that our concern with wildlife is mostly associated with our dogs. Our dogs didn't grow up in this kind of environment. They don't really know to be cautious of wild animals. Boone would try to go play with a wild animal. And so it's more like letting the dogs out in the morning and there being something there that would startle both of them. That's my biggest concern with wild animals. I'm not personally afraid of bears up here.
I mean, I don't want to encounter one. That's the goal. Speak loudly and carry a big stick. No, that's not the same. What would we do for work other than YouTube? Before YouTube, we did metal fabrication, we had a wedding rental business, vacation rental management. We've done quite a few
Off-road
things.
shop.
And so I think maybe if we stopped doing YouTube, we'd go back to doing something along those lines. But this is way more fun. I love this, and I hope that we can keep doing this because it's fun. We get to do fun stuff, and then we get to share it with you guys.
So if you guys didn't know, YouTube is what Courtney and I both do full-time as our job, along with everything that goes with that, like the snow track plans that we created that we're selling.
So yeah, if you guys didn't see that, Riley and I put together plans for our snow tracks that you can buy. They're on our website, or I'll put a link down below. They're not a how-to, like instructions IKEA style, but it's going to come with diagrams, critical dimensions, the CAD files that you can have sent off to have cut. And we actually teamed up with a company called Send Cut Send, where they will cut all of the files. They already have the files, and they'll cut them for you and just ship them to your door.
And that's been really exciting. It's been fun to see, we've sold quite a few sets of plans, and I can't wait to see, hopefully next winter, some people driving around on their own homemade snow tracks.
Snow tracks in the wild. We're going to have to start a hashtag so we can see what you guys put them on. Let's see, what's our next big project? Well, this feels like a really big project right now. We're working on the bathroom right now. And so Sunday's video will be about working on the bathroom, and then the kitchen after that. And then after that, we have a lot of really exciting things planned, but we're not going to tell you about them quite yet.
I'm most looking forward to pouring the concrete slab in the shop, because that's going to be that last step we need to do in the shop before we can start finishing the interior of it and moving all our stuff in. Right now, we just that dirt floor in the shop makes it really hard to work down there. It's more like a really big crawl space than it is a workshop.
Ooh, favorite off-road vehicle you've ever owned or built? I'll go first. We built a 1969 Jeep Wagoneer. I built that with the LS, 1 tons, coilovers, cantilevered. It was so cool, and I built that to compete in the Rebelle Rally, which I actually did with Riley's mom. And we finished top 10, and that Jeep was amazing. It was my daily driver, and I ended up selling it to a guy up in the Bay Area, and we still get people send us pictures of it all the time because he daily drives it.
That was back at a phase in Cornelia's life where it was to move on from one big project, we had to sell the previous one. And so selling that Jeep sort of funded, I think the first house we bought is what we used a lot of that money for.
Our flip house that we did, yeah.
I think my favorite off-road rig I've ever owned was the CJ7 I built in college. It was basically a 2-buggy. I took out the entire frame. I cut the Jeep in half behind the doors. I widened it. I stretched it. I put a V8 in it, and it was sort of the first time I'd ever gotten to just go wild and build something from scratch for myself. It was really fun. But like everything, we sold that one to buy the first round of tools when we opened our own off-road shop.
That one's called the Mashed Tater.
The Mashed Tater.
That one. We don't name all our vehicles, but sometimes we do. Let's see. Would we ever sell our camper? We have dreams of building another camper, and I think if they come to fruition at some point, that would be when we sell our camper. But we're really looking forward to using it this summer, so I don't think we're going to sell it anytime soon because I love our camper. Now that we've lived in the apartment for a while, I can say I love the camper. I think we were both burnt out in winter, living in it up here before we had any of this space to kind of unwind into. It was starting to get a little tight.
The camper is awesome when we're traveling and we're going to new places and seeing new things and taking the dogs along with us. But when we're stationary here on the property, it is very cramped.
Concrete flooring. Oh, we are really looking forward to having a slab. We have big plans for the shop downstairs to build it out and bring the plasma table up and all of that, but we are holding off until we can pour our concrete slab. And that one's just not going to be able to happen until mud season is over so that we can get concrete trucks up here. Holy cow, you guys have a lot of comments. This is hard keeping up.
It's hard talking and reading at the same time.
Let's see. Have we ever spent time in a cold climate? Our travel last year in the camper was the longest that I've been in the cold before this. Our area here isn't super duper cold. We're definitely not as cold as Montana. And so it's really just having the right clothes. And I think last week we got down to 0 a couple nights, and then it was in like the teens during the day. And so we just worked inside on those days.
I didn't know what to expect living full-time in a cold climate, and it hasn't been nearly as bad as I thought it would be. I think we have the right equipment and the right gear, and no big deal.
Oh, this is a good one. This is something that you guys have brought up quite a bit of a concern about an outdoor staircase. And that was a concern that we have too. And so our addition, our deck that's happening off of the sliding glass door and that staircase is all going to be covered. And then it's going to be a carport underneath so that you can come from the car under to a covered staircase up and into the apartment. So the stairs will not be open to the snow or the ice.
And why, it seems kind of silly to, when I say it out loud, that we would be taking our staircase from the inside and putting it outside. Why would we want an outside staircase? And the reality is that our shop ended up smaller than we originally were planning, and there's just not room on the interior layout for a staircase. It interferes with any opportunity to put a two-post lift in there, and a two-post lift is a non-negotiable for me.
We could leave the inside staircase, but our priorities, we would like more workshop and less taken away by the staircase. So that's why we're gonna do that eventually. I like that. There's no such thing as cold weather, just poor clothing. And Bailey does wear her jackets, and the dogs have booties, and they've acclimated pretty well to the cold as well. The waste oil heater has been amazing. It still feels weird going out into a warm shop because I got so used to it being so cold, but it's been incredible.
I was working down there today on a project in a t-shirt. It was awesome. And to answer the question of how efficient is it, it burns about a half a gallon an hour of oil, but it only takes about a half hour to an hour of running it to get the shop up to like 65 degrees. And then it only cycles on for what, 15 minutes every hour or so. So it really doesn't burn very much waste oil to get the shop to a comfortable temperature.
Our problem right now is our dirt floor because we basically have like this gross, giant, humid basement. And so I'm really looking forward to getting our vapor barrier and our concrete slab in, and then we'll have dry heat, not like a sauna.
And I think that that's something that I did not expect, and had I known how bad that was going to be, we would have tried harder last fall to get a concrete slab poured. I did not expect that that much moisture would come out of the ground into the air and make so much humidity in the building.
Hi, Mark and Teresa. Spiral staircase, that would be cool, or maybe like a fire pole, or some way we could still go quick in and out from the bedroom to the shop, but not take up footprint.
And we are going to have some kind of ingress egress from the shop. The way that it comes into the bedroom is really awkward, and so that's not going to be our primary way in and out. It's going to be more like in case of emergency, so that we have 2 points of entrance and exit.
And Teresa, you're like our third mom, and yes, Donald sent us one of those emergency escape ladders you put out your window in an emergency, and we have that under our bed. So we do, even though we don't have our sliding door staircase yet, we do have a way in and out. So, oh, you guys can't hear me. I need to speak louder. Here, do we need to get the camera closer? Maybe that'll help. And then, but you have to not yell now.
You need to stop using your inside voice and use your outside voice.
Guys, it's hard. John, that's a good point about plastic. We did put like some rugs down and some plastic, but it kind of gets destroyed just from doing things. So, but we're looking forward to our concrete slab. That's going to be really nice.
Ricky wants to know about power and 220 for the shop. So yeah, 220 in the shop is going to be a necessity. Both our welders, our air compressor, our plasma table, all of that needs 220, and there are ways to get 220 off grid with the right inverters. We've been working on our plans for that, but we don't have anything set in stone yet.
That will be coming probably late spring, summer. It'll be nice to have. But for now, the EcoFlow and then the Renogy system and the camper have been working fine for our needs. But once we get our plasma table up here, our welders and stuff, it's going to be a little bit different.
And I don't know if you guys have seen the episode a long time ago now, maybe 6 months ago, we do have that military MEP 004 generator that can make 220 power as well. So we do have a way to make it right now. It just requires filling up and firing up a dual military generator, which is pretty fun too.
We do have potential plans to add on to the building. When we did our excavation, we left space to maybe do an addition. We have a lot of projects planned for this summer, so I don't know that it'll happen this summer, but I would love to next summer maybe add on to the building.
It'd be fun to have separate areas for woodworking, fabrication, and mechanic type work, and then also a place to store our toys. And our current shop's not big enough. The shops are never big enough, guys.
A few of you have asked about a garden, and I think with hauling water and not having a reliable water source, it's really hard to think about having a garden. But maybe someday when we do have a more reliable water source, that'll be something that we can start planning. Let's see.
So to answer the question about grid power, no, we are going to be fully off grid here. The power is too far away for us to feel like it's economically feasible to bring power all the way to the property.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the idea of being off grid and self-sufficient is really cool to me.
Road work, yes. One of our big projects this summer is going to be drastically improving the road. Our goal is to be able to drive my car up here next winter. We'll see. Wind turbine, have we looked into that?
I've looked a little tiny bit into wind turbines, but if any of you have wind turbine recommendations that of ones that you know that work well, feel free to send them our way. We just don't have that much wind here, like at all. It's
Which is
really
really
still,
nice.
which is
It's
nice.
I appreciate it not being windy. Will we pour our own concrete floor? We've met with a few concrete guys, and I think we're gonna do the prep work, and then I think we're gonna let them do their thing and do the finish work on the slab is the current plan. But
So we'd form it ourselves, we do the rebar ourselves, we put any plumbing in that we might want to put in ourselves, and then we let them come in and do the finish work on the actual pour day.
yeah, let's see what else. Catch rain off the roof. Yes, now that it started raining again, I think spring maybe is here or winter's not. We don't know. We do want to try to do some rain catchment. Our
What-
daily coffee choice. That's a good one. You guys send us coffee pretty often, so we've had quite the array lately. What's the one I really liked?
The one right now that we're drinking is from DCR Roasters, I think, out of Seattle, and it is super good. We just finished a bag of the Amazon brand Colombian blend, and I was also shocked at how good that one was.
Bill, that's a really good question.
What's Bill want to know?
Have we ever had a moment where you're exhausted and thought, why are we doing this all the time?
Yeah.
This is exhausting. And especially in winter, everything takes longer and it's just more difficult. So I would say for every moment that we think, why are we doing this? At least I have an equal moment of, I'm so glad we're doing this, but they're not always in the same hour or day.
And the YouTube side of things adds a whole new level of complexity to our life that we both really enjoy. Like, I think that one of the best benefits of YouTube has been you guys, our amazing fan base that we've gotten to know and get to interact with, and people that we've met in person are awesome. But setting up the cameras and doing all the recording and Courtney doing all the video editing and the production stuff, it adds a lot of extra work to the amount of work that we are doing.
So with that, we are going to be, for just right now, switching to one video a week. Oh, thank you so much, Jeffrey. We'll get some coffee with that. We're going to be switching to one video a week just for a little bit. I've just been kind of run into the ground trying to do 2 videos a week right now. And what's going to happen with switching to one video a week is they're going to be longer. I'm going to have a little more time to make them, I think, better. I don't know. You'll have to tell us what you think. But we're going to take a little break from 2 videos a week, go to 1. And I think that we'll see how it goes.
For the last month or so, we've been trying to like film the previous 2 days for that day's video. It's been really hard, a really difficult pace for us to keep up with.
So we're gonna just kind of mix things up, and we're gonna see how that works. And we appreciate you guys' feedback on that. And let's see. Oh, there's a question, Matthew. We do have an Amazon wish list. I think the link is in the description to our videos. It's usually just stuff for the dogs because it makes me so happy when they have things. So I think a few of their favorite toys and stuff like that are on our Amazon wish list. But maybe I'll put my new favorite coffee on there too.
That's a good idea.
And
one of you sent us a breakfast kit with pancake mix and delicious
So
jam and real maple syrup. So good.
Can you tell that we like food? Are we taking time for self-care? Hopefully one video a week will help with that. Having a shower here now, like a real shower. We could shower in the camper, but having a real shower upstairs with hot water, I didn't know how much I missed that, but that has been a significant improvement. Oh, sorry, real quick. Sunday. Our one video a week is going to be on our Sunday day. So Sundays will be our one video a week.
And if you guys wouldn't mind, share your feedback with us on what you think as we switch to one video per week. And if you like them, if you think the videos have gotten better, if you want more videos, just let us know what you think.
Yeah, we really appreciate your feedback because we have no idea what we're doing. Thank you so much, Robert. We really, really appreciate that. Fire season. Yes, that's definitely coming from California. That's something that's very much on our mind. We have a lot more clearing that we want to do around the building this spring to get our fire break bigger, and that is one of the biggest reasons that we went with all metal on our building was also because of concerns with fire season.
All the enclosed soffits and the ridge cap with the seal, all of that was designed with the intent that there would be no place for embers to be able to get into this building.
Oh, shorts. So we've been trying the shorts out. YouTube sent an email out to creators in January saying that they highly encouraged us to give shorts a try. So we've been doing that. and it's been fun. It's been fun to share little snippets. We appreciate. I know some of you, it was frustrating that it notified you like it was a full length video, and I agree that's pretty annoying. So hopefully they figure that out. But it's been fun making shorts.
The hardest part about making shorts is that they're vertical instead of horizontal, so we have to intentionally film as though we're making a short. But they're fun to make. They're just like a quirky short thing about what we're up to, like in that moment. But it does add a whole other thing that we have to think about.
Yes, always something. Let's see. Are we allergic to cats? We're not, but Bailey doesn't do cats.
Bailey's allergic to cats.
She's not allergic. She just wants to eat them, so we don't have cats.
And Bailey's our black dog, if you guys didn't know.
Yes. Let's see. Something else we wanted to touch on. We do have a Patreon. We do Patreon exclusive content, and now that our internet's fast, we're gonna start doing Patreon exclusive lives. We'll do these too, but just more of like an intimate, exclusive live. So if you'd like to join our Patreon, that is a new feature that we're gonna be adding. Oh, yes, the no onion and garlic. Thank you guys so much. I found out about a spice company I didn't even know existed called Ponderay Spice, and they have a whole section that has no onion and garlic. And so that has been super cool. And then one of you sent me a cookbook. And so thank you guys so much. I did find some new flavors that way.
So one of the coolest things about Penzies is these spice blends, because it's really hard at the grocery store to find a spice blend that doesn't have onion and garlic. Our favorite one right now is this Gelano Street. It's really good, and Courtney can have it.
So that's been good. Teresa, thank you for being a Patreon member. We really, really, really appreciate it.
Thank all of you for all of the support, all of our YouTube members, all of our Patreon people, those of you that just take the time to watch our videos.
Oh, hey, Steve. Thank you so much. We don't have Starlink. We're currently using a point-to-point internet provider in our area. Our backup plan was to use Starlink if that didn't work, but our internet's been working pretty well so far. So, but it may be someday. We have friends who have Starlink up here, and they do love it. Are we going to do any expos this year? We haven't really nailed down a schedule yet, but I'd love to go to one of the Overland expos. Maybe, I think there's a new one in Oregon this year that'd be fun to go to.
Any propane use in the future? Yes, so right now we are using propane for our oven and our stove, and it's really likely that our water heater is going to be propane, at least in the short term. In the long term, I would love to switch everything over to electric if we can figure out how to generate enough electricity with solar and wind on the property.
My little Idaho off-grid homestead, thank you for being a Patreon member. Sorry, I didn't want to lose that. Let's see, is there a link for our Patreon? Yeah, let me put it, I'll put it in right now. Hold on, keep them busy.
You guys have a lot of questions about our internet, so it sounds like that's a popular topic. Maybe we'll have to come back and sort of give you the recap on all of our different internet setups we've had through time. What we're on right now is our best one. And also, if you have other video topics that you'd like to see covered that are just more of a general broad, Courtney and I can film a video where we talk about a topic that you're interested in, let us know, because we're always looking for new video topics that aren't necessarily build or building related.
Let's see. Patreon only content. Yes, we love our Tech Tuesdays, and we just have not had time to make them. So I think hopefully part of going to one video a week is we have time to do more content like that as well. Sponsored content. So we've had a few more video sponsors this year, which is really nice because it takes a lot of pressure. Everything we're doing is so expensive. Like, it's so expensive building, and so the sponsored content has been a really great way to kind of let us plan some future projects, hopefully that are also equally exciting and make great content for you guys.
So to be honest with you guys, when we bought this property, we spent pretty much all the money we had. And we thought we were going to have to sell the camper and move into a tent in order to be able to do this build.
Like just the shell of the building, we thought we were gonna have to fund the last bit of it with the camper.
But we were able to grow our YouTube channel and start getting the video sponsors and get the income to a point where we're actually able to sustain this and continue building and still own the camper, which is the first time in our lives where we haven't had to sell like the previous thing to start the next thing, and it's been awesome. So again, thank you guys for supporting us, and bearing with the ads. I know it's kind of annoying sometimes to have an ad in the middle of the episode. We try to keep them brief, and I hope you guys. And we try to keep them relatable, like something that actually is applicable to us and applicable to you.
Products we use or services that we use, and so. But it's and Magic Spoon. Riley loved that. Actually, Riley does eat Magic Spoon for breakfast every morning, so that's not fake. He really does love it. But they didn't pay for this video, so.
My new favorite one is blueberry. I actually eat this every morning for breakfast. It's awesome.
John, we do want to talk to you a little bit about electric and harnessing that. Wildlife. Yeah, we have elk and deer and bears and cougars. We've never seen a wolf. Our neighbors have never seen a wolf, but there are wolves in the mountains surrounding us.
We did have 2 stray dogs wander up here. That was interesting. We were able to get them back to their owners, but they were a long way from home.
A long way from home, the sweet dogs. Let's see. The ratchet strap, yes. Also, we love our Strupino ratchet straps. Do we still get money if you don't? Yeah, if you're a premium member, we get like a little portion of what you're paying to be a member, so that it all works out, and it's great. And then you don't have to watch ads, so that's a win-win for all of us. Let's see. Other things we wanted to talk about going into spring. It's just mud is going to be, I think, our biggest battle, and we're going to take you guys along for the ride on that one for sure. Because it's going to be interesting. I'm a little bit concerned about not having a ton of water with the dogs, just because and Riley, they get really muddy.
The best thing about the snow is how clean the dogs stay. You guys saw the moon dust in the summertime. The dogs are always filthy, and we're really worried about mud season and what's going to happen with our dogs. Because we love to let the dogs run around and be dogs, but they also live inside with us. So
they're very spoiled. They're laying on their beds right now.
But the other thing about mud season we were worried about was getting stuck. And it turns out that Harbor Freight actually watches our videos and monitors the comments. And they saw all of you guys recommending that we get a winch. And they reached out and said, hey, we want to give you guys a winch. So I think the last 2 shorts we have are about our new Harbor Freight winch they sent us for free. They just said, hey, here's a winch. Try it out. Let us know what you think.
We've had a lot of winches in the past. We've had a worn Xeon. We've had all sorts of things. And so we're excited to see how the Harbor Freight winch holds up. We already got to use it once, yeah. And so far, I'm very impressed.
So now we know that even when mud season comes, we can hopefully pull our cars out.
And let's see.
What's the plan for water and sewer? So we are still working on both of those plans. Yes, we need some kind of septic system installed. There's a few alternative ideas we're exploring. And for water, I think that for now we're going to be hauling water. Yeah. It's just not really in the cards or budget to be able to drill a well right now. And also a well takes a lot of power. And it's just not that hard for us to haul water up here. We have used approximately 500 gallons since November.
But take that with a grain of salt. We weren't really showering here. We were a member at a gym in town, and we were showering there, or at a friend's shop. We can go shower. So that was 500 gallons without really showering here.
Pretty much just drinking water and cooking.
Are we going to introduce our neighbors on video? I don't know. It depends if they want to be on videos. One of our neighbors, Greg, did help with moving the shed up here, and I think he was in a few of the shots.
Our neighbors are awesome. Most of them watch our YouTube channel. They're super supportive of us. They're always helpful, but they are a little private, and I totally understand that.
And we are too, so we totally want to respect that. How old are Bailey and Boone? Bailey is 8, and Boone is 10.
9 and 7, something like that.
They're
older than they look, I'll tell you that.
Boone's birthday is in 11 days.
Oh, come here.
Oh, and then he'll be 11.
Bailey says, Bailey, come here. She's not
Let's
allowed.
see. There's Bailey.
Bailey. Over here.
Oh yeah, Mike and Liz with Laid Back Living. We got to meet Mike and Liz through the Johnsons, Martin Johnson Off Grid. There's some really amazing channels up here, and so it's been great to meet them. And I think I did a ladies' work day that Julie put on, and I'm already scheming looking for my ladies' workday up here for them to come hang out, and it's probably going to involve the excavator. So
It's been really fun having a local YouTube community up here that we can get to be a part of and get to know other YouTubers and talk YouTube with them.
So real quick, some channels that we've got to meet, and we really appreciate them and their content. There's Martin and Julie Johnson with Martin Johnson Off-Grid Living. There's Mike and Liz with Laid Back Living. There's Heather and Kim with Because We Can Farms, and I'll make sure maybe I'll put those in our next video if you guys want to check them out. But they're all amazing people, and we love what they're doing. I didn't forget anyone, did I?
I don't think so. Well, those are the ones I can think of.
How deep are the wells? Deep. Too deep. Oh, yeah, Wild Wonderful. They're not near us, but also put out amazing content, and we love watching that. Oh, the Lexus. Ooh, I'd give it, well, it's supposed to be a secret, so don't tell everyone else, but it gets a 10. I absolutely love my GX. It's incredibly capable in the snow, like mind-bogglingly capable, especially for the price that I picked it up for, so I love my GX.
So the Lexus GX 470 is basically a Toyota Land Cruiser Prado in other countries. So it's got a lot of the Land Cruiser technology in it, making it a super capable off-road vehicle. It's V8, body on frame.
My little Idaho off-grid homestead as well. I forgot. Sorry. Let's see. Oh yeah, Good Simple Living is also up here. We haven't had a chance to meet them, but they're also building their house, and that's awesome. Let's see. Something else that we wanted to talk about, you guys. I think we ripped through everything. So now just we'll do a little last-minute Q&A, and then I think we're gonna make some dinner. So fire away if you have any questions we haven't answered that you would like us to answer.
And we might not have seen your question. They're scrolling through our screen so fast that there's something pressing that you want to ask that we haven't answered that you already asked.
I'm sorry if we don't.
Ask it again.
Oh, who do we watch when we're just like scrolling? Karen Nate. I like watching Karen Nate. We don't.
Matt's Off-Road Recovery.
Oh, yes.
Honestly, we like to watch content that has nothing to do with what we're doing, because if we're watching other homesteaders, off-grid type people, we're so focused on like the work aspect of it that it's not relaxing for us. We like to watch stuff that's just not related to us. I really like Will Prowse's off-grid solar stuff. I think that guy's super funny, and I learn a lot through him.
And Grindhard also, we watch Grindhard videos pretty often. What we use for brewing coffee, we do pour over usually. Let's see, RR Buildings. Honestly, absolutely love Kyle's channel. We watched it all summer, and then we were so burnt out on building a pole barn that we had to take a break, but now we watch his videos again. And that wasn't his fault. That was just, we were totally burnt out.
Pretty much everything we know about construction, we know from watching his videos. So thanks, Kyle.
Let's see. I don't think we'll convert the Army truck into an RV. I love our Army truck, but after driving it 1,200 miles, I will never do that again.
You know, it's slow, it's loud, it's uncomfortable, and it's really hard to fix if you break it. Everything requires specialty tools. The parts are hard to get. I think that modern vehicles that the parts are readily available at the auto parts store make a lot more sense for something that we would take full-time travel.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see.
Tracks for the Army truck, on the other hand, now that would be awesome. I think we'd have to make them a lot more heavy duty.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, RR Buildings.
You found us from watching RR. That's awesome.
That's really cool. Kyle reached out to us at one point because he'd watched a few of our videos, which was like a huge honor, and then also a lot of pressure. What are we going to brew our own beer? Riley did that in college, and I don't think he'll ever do it again.
It was kind of a lot of work. It didn't taste that good, and I can buy a really good beer at the store. I don't know. Maybe someday when I'm looking for another just hobby that's sort of unrelated to everything else I do that's relaxing, I'll get back into that. But
next piece of heavy equipment. Courtney wants a skid steer.
I think a skid steer would make a lot of sense for us. We both really enjoy operating equipment, so having two pieces of equipment that can work well as a team together would be good, and a skid steer is probably the answer. It would be great for
chipper.
The implements available for skid steer, like a chipper or a rock crusher or a snow blower, are awesome. We'll never be getting rid of the excavator. That thing is just awesome.
yes, we have considered a tractor as well. Yes, I'll take it all.
And there are a lot of situations where a tractor would make a lot of sense. They're kind of a jack of all trades and can do a lot of stuff. Tractors are super cool.
Oh, how'd we meet? That's a good question. We met in college in the Collegiate Off-Road Club. 11 years ago. That was another question I saw. Is how old are we? I'm 27.
And I'm 29, but that reminds me I'm going to be 30 in a couple of months.
In 1 month.
In 1 month. In less than 1 month. Oh my gosh, I'm getting old, guys.
A helicopter. Now we're talking. A scissor lift, yes. We do have plans to rent a scissor lift this spring to get a bunch of projects done, including inside the shop, all of our wall finishing.
We have electrical to run in the shop and wall stuff to run in the shop and some more stuff to do outside. And having a scissor lift around for a couple of weeks is going to be a game changer for that.
Oh yes, Andrew Camarada, we definitely watch his channel. He was building his container castle when we were starting our shipping container house build, and so we were super into his channel then, and we still like watching his channel.
That guy is a productivity madman. I don't know how he can get so much done in so little time, because it's like we're really productive and he's hard to keep up with. What drone do we use? I have a DJI Mini SE, which I think is like $250 or $300. It's really inexpensive. It's tiny, and I have been absolutely blown away with how great it is. It is easy to fly. It's been absolutely flawless. I highly recommend it. Before that, I had a Fimi X8, and it was terrible. I would not recommend that drone.
Yeah, our new drone even survives crashing into a tree, so that's good. Well, I think we're going to wrap things up, and thank you guys so much. Oh, you need to mute your phone next time, because apparently we traumatize people with your notifications. Sorry, guys. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Just again to reiterate, we're going to go to 1 video a week for now to kind of take some pressure off of us so that we can make the best videos we possibly can for you guys. So Sundays, 1 video a week, and then I think maybe we'll start doing shorts as our Wednesday videos. So you're still getting something twice a week. And thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. We are so thankful, like beyond words, and we cannot wait to take you guys along the rest of this year because we have some really exciting stuff planned. I just talked a lot. Do you want to say anything?
I just want to say I'm sorry that we couldn't get to every single one of your questions. I'm sitting here trying to read them as fast as they're coming up, and I can't even read them. So thank you guys again so much for supporting our channel, for coming out and watching our live, and
have a great night.
We'll try to do these a little more often, and we'll see you next time.